My entitled husband is demanding that I use the inheritance I just got from my parents to go ahead and buy a house in the city. I don't want to live in the city. I want to stay where I'm at, save up the money, invest it properly, and maybe just not have to pay paycheck to paycheck right now. I can finally breathe. Well, I'm not going to do it. But I want to come here and get your perspective. I'll walk you through the very beginning because, let's be honest, this story is crazy. Here we go. Good evening, everybody. My name's Sam and I'm 28 years of age. Lately, I've been going through a tough phase in my life and I really could use some help. My parents passed away recently, rest in peace, my loves. And it's been extremely difficult to cope with this loss, but I'm trying my best. However, I'm here to talk about something that's been bothering me. Well, since the last 4 days, I've received a heavy inheritance from my late parents. I'm talking like a huge amount of my money, but my husband Michael has been after my life since then. So let me tell you what exactly has happened. We've been talking about buying a house, but we could not finalize due to the high rates of housing these days. So as soon as I received my parents' inheritance, Michael's been pressuring us to buy a house in the main city. I'm not okay with shifting to the main city due to personal reasons, so we got into a pretty heated argument 3 days back. I refused that I did not wish to buy a house at the moment, and that too in the city, and Michael called me a selfish slur. Well, obviously, upon hearing that, I said, "Excuse me, what?" He's the selfish one over here, and this stupid man thinks that he's right over me. Since we've been married, he's always tried to exert control over me and thinks that whatever I've achieved only belongs to him and thinks of him as the only entitled person ever. Is he even able to hear himself? How am I selfish over here? This money belongs to me and I should be the one to make a decision. I cannot take this anymore. Well, not only this, he also threatened that he would divorce me if I did not go by what he said. He said that he's the husband, so it's my responsibility that I go by his decision. So let me take you back to where all this started. Before getting married, Michael and I dated for a long time, and honestly, those days were good, unlike today and for the last few years. So while we dated, I was really happy with him as if it was my first relationship. Well, and though there were some points where I could feel him exerting control, it did not affect me that much as I thought his controlling behavior is present in each and every boyfriend probably. He used to stop me from certain things such as hanging out with any male friends and spending money on anything expensive. And in front of my friends, he used to act as if he really is the perfect boyfriend. It's funny in relation to how things go in the moment, lol. I've always tried my best to maintain peace in the relationship, and no matter what he said and what he did, I was never the one to give up, but things have gone too far-fetched now. When I started earning, and on the day when I got my first salary, he demanded a pretty expensive gift from me, not realizing that it would hamper half of my money. Just to show that I loved him, I got him his gift, which he did not even say thank you to me for. He always told me in the initial years of dating and marriage that me and everything that I owned belonged to him, but I always took it as a joke, until he started acting like a jerk when he called me the, slur word. My monthly salary is always something that he looks forward to. Even though he works himself, he demands half of it all the time. I pay for most things in our home, and he doesn't even shed a penny, and now he wants to take over the inheritance that belongs to me? What a jerk! He has ruled over my possessions, and I've never uttered a word by this time. I'm furious as well as confused about what I can do. That is why I'm here, letting it all out in front of you so that I can open up and get some suggestions. On the day when the drama happened, I was working when Michael barged into my room demanding that we purchase a big house in the city. I tried talking him out of it, but he refused to listen, rather started raising his voice. He mentioned that even if it was my parents' inheritance, it belonged to him as he was the one putting up with such a selfish woman. Oh, sorry, a witch like me. To which I replied that I was not comfortable with the idea of moving to the city. He told me that I was an entitled woman who did not want the good for anyone, and I should just get the hell out of his house. His house? When I'm the one paying for the monthly allowances? While all of this was going on, I could not help but think of how much of a toxic person he was, or maybe what he had become. All of this made me regret all the good memories that we have made since the time that we met and how rotten everything has become. I feel like I do not even recognize him at the moment. He is the one who's entitled and blinded by the allure of money. Wow. I don't know what I should do, as he's already threatened that he'll divorce whenever he gets the chance to. And clearly that day for me was horrible, and I feel suffocated in his marriage. So much so that I'm not able to concentrate on anything these days. All of this makes me miss Mom and Dad so much. Our so-called home has been a pin drop silent for the last 3 days. After the incident happened, and the only thing actually a taunt that I've been listening to is how selfish I am to keep the money all to myself instead of putting it to some good use. Michael's been sleeping in the drawing room, refuses to come back into the bedroom unless, well, I agree to purchase the home. He stopped eating and comes home late from work and just tries to make me feel terrible. I mean, yeah, isn't that pretty evident? Imagine all of this for the sake of money. Right now, I'm in a very horrible position as I'm dealing with the loss of my loved ones and, on the other hand, my husband's torture. He does not even respect the fact that I just lost my parents. He could create all the scene later, but no, he's not all this sensitive to my grief. I feel angry and suffocated, and I cannot seem to find my way out of it. He's been mentioning the word divorce so much since the last 3 days that it feels like he's been waiting for this opportunity all his life. I literally regret marrying a man like Michael, but now I cannot do anything about it. It feels as if he's punishing me for something that I'm not even responsible for. His greed for the inheritance clearly reflects in the way that he started speaking to me nowadays, and I have to live with this as it's a woman's responsibility to save her relationship, right? Yesterday, Michael told me that he has the divorce papers ready, and that I should consider my decision of not buying a house, and I'm so stressed. I feel numb due to the fact that I've no one to talk to about this, not even my parents anymore. All my life, I've been controlled by him, and honestly, I'm so done with his tactics that I just want to punch him in the face, but somehow I can't, as he's my husband and I do love him. I just won't want to give up. Please let me know what I should do. Shall I just agree with the house thing? I mean, it's a good option for the future, so yeah, I can think about it. So, shall I just say yes? That I'm going to invest in the house, I'm so confused. On one hand, I don't want to, as I'm done with this controlling nature, but on the other hand, I don't want to be separate either. Please send in your suggestions. I'll try my best to keep you all updated. Update number 1. Hey everyone, I hope that you're all doing well, because I'm not. Last night, I was going through all the comments that you have sent me, and I felt as if I should update. In the first place, to all the negative commenters, what do you think of yourself? Please be in my position, and then you'll know. Take it easy. It's been a week since my last post, and a lot has happened, so I thought I would share you in with the details. I'm glad that many of you understand my plight and did not judge me for not having an immediate decision. But on the contrary, half of you were extremely rude and called me stupid for not wanting to buy a house. Guys, please just listen up. All the money belongs to me, and it's up to me about what I want to do. So take it easy with your mean comments. So yeah, coming back to the update, I have a decision finally, as your suggestions put me through some serious brainstorming. I've decided to go ahead with the divorce. Yes, you heard it right, I'm, leaving Michael for good. And though it feels really bad to end a marriage, it's extremely important and necessary for my mental health. I want to let go of his control and his pressure, and I've been under all these years. I can't take it anymore. So yes, divorce it is. Honestly, even the idea of divorce makes me feel better already, as I'll be free to do whatever I want, and the best part, nobody will call me a selfish witch. This is the very big decision, but I'm here for it, and most of you suggested it's better to live alone than such a toxic man. Although Michael has mentioned about divorce, he's not really done anything about it, so I decided to finally stand up to him and tell him that I'm ready for separation and that he should start preparing. So that's exactly what I did. While Michael was in the room, I went up to him and told him that I wanted to get separated and how controlling he had become all these years, and that I wanted my freedom. Him being the entitled jerk that he is, laughed it all off and said that I should leave already, as he's done with me as well, and I wanted to beat him up so bad that all the teeth in his mouth fall out. He then asked me to send him the divorce papers as soon as possible, so that he could get rid of a woman like me who's so self-centered. He has absolutely no shame at all. All that time he was taking it lightly and also claimed that I could never be anything without him, as he was the one who made me successful and that I had no worth. And now I cannot wait to throw divorce papers in his face. Ugh, I hate him so much. His presence alone is making me suffocated, and I'm kind of angry at myself for marrying such a monster. But now that I'm leaving him, I cannot be more satisfied. It just feels great. Though, while writing this update, I'm still wondering, what did I do to deserve this? Do you all think that I'm on the right path? Although I'm sure about the separation, I would still appreciate validation from you guys. Update number 2. Good afternoon, everyone. I know this is pretty soon and quick, but here's an update. Firstly, I left our house and I'm currently staying with my best friend Missy, who's been extremely supportive in terms of this decision, and I'm going to be staying here until I find some place. Also, thank you so much, guys, for being so supportive in such a hard time. It means a lot to me. I have got the divorce papers ready, and now I just have to go and throw them at Michael's face. It's been 3 days since my last update, and I was definitely not expecting to update you all soon, but here it is, and let me tell you, all this is a major one. So, of course, now that Michael and I are separating, people know, like his parents and relatives. Things have been really serious lately, but I'm trying my best just to stay strong. So one thing that I never talked about in my previous post was that I'm really close to my in-laws, Michael's mother, father, and sister. They've always appreciated me as an individual and of course as Michael's wife. They reached out to me yesterday after a very long time, and I believe after about 7 months. My initial thought, to begin, was just they must have reached out to tell me that they hate me or something, but rather they wanted to know my side of the story. I felt that I could confide in them, so I did. I told them about everything. My conversation with them included everything that was happening lately and how much I was affected, and obviously about the fact that Michael had abused me. They were feeling extremely sorry and also accepted that they agreed how controlling and toxic I was. Michael can be sometimes, well, my bad most of the time. I was surprised at how supportive they were towards me rather than supporting their son. To me, it almost felt unreal because after my parents passed away, I truly thought that I had no one. Anyways, after I told them about everything that had happened, they came up with a plan. So, they suggested that in their family inheritance, they would add a clause that would say that Michael would only receive his share of the inheritance if he continued his marriage with me, or else the shares would be divided between his sister and me. Not gonna lie, this was actually a genius idea. For a man like Michael who only wants to think about money, I think it's the best way. So, we discussed the entire plan for an hour or something, and now it's finalized. I think this will be a great opportunity for Michael to rethink his decision, or maybe mend his mistake. I actually cannot believe that this was what my in-laws came up with, and it's actually great that they know about the reality of their son. You all can clearly understand Michael is nothing like his parents, and he will never be. My in-laws have been working on revising their inheritance clause recently, and I have my fingers crossed and in doubt, to be honest, whether this plan will work or not. I'm grateful for my mother-in-law and father-in-law who are being so supportive, and of course to you all who have been here since my first post, and I've been sending in so much support. I have gratitude for you guys. However, the main question is Michael. Will he accept this clause or not? What do you think? To me, it all seems like his parents do not want us to separate, which makes me understand their perspective as well. However, we will only know when Michael will, and this is it for this one. I'll try my best to keep you all updated if something happens. I wonder what's going to happen next. Update number 3. Hello everyone, I'm back with another update, and I know you all have been just waiting to hear what happened next, and sorry that I took so much time. I just could not update you all, but hey, thank you for being so patient and sending me so many messages, it means a lot. So let me tell you about what happened in the last week. I'm still processing it, but that would not have stopped me from letting you all know. So my in-laws did revise the inheritance. That is, they mentioned that Michael will only receive his share of the inheritance if he stayed married to me, or else it would automatically be given to me and my sister-in-law Maggie. Oh boy, hats off to their brain. The plan worked. When it was being done, my husband did not have a single hint about it. Why would he? It was a mistake that he made. I'm still processing my in-laws being so supportive towards me, as most of the time it is the opposite. And when I read your comments and suggestions, how you all talked about your in-laws being toxic, I felt a bit worried. I've been in touch with them regularly since last week, and it's not only about the will, it's also about the fact that they've been checking up on me just to see how I'm dealing with all this. After my parents, I'm able to rely on them, and I do feel very happy. However, they called a meeting at their house with us. Me, Michael, and Maggie. I knew for sure that Michael was not going to take this well, and he would break out in the most horrendous way possible, and that's exactly what happened. So when we reached there, Michael did not even look at me, but Maggie and I didn't. We met nicely. My dear husband could not even maintain eye contact with me. Before his parents could drop their bombshell on him, he asked them himself why did they call us in the middle of work, as he was busy and he did not want to see me. Even towards his parents, his tone was extremely rude, which made me realize why his parents also believed him to be toxic. He told his own mother that he did not have time and that they should hurry up with their stupidity so that he could leave. Stupidity? Seriously? He has no idea what was going on. Well, then we'll see who the stupid one is. So his parents sat us down and announced that they have to make some changes to the will. Of course, I already knew, and I was just waiting to see the defeat on Michael's face when he heard that LOL. So initially upon hearing this, he thought this was going to be of an advantage for him, but what happened just shattered him into pieces. His parents put a condition in front of him, that he will receive his shares of the money if we continue the marriage, or else I will take over the money. For example, he froze, not realizing what it all was going to happen next, and he lost his cool and started throwing things around the house, which created a mess. He started to scream at the top of his lungs about the fact that his parents were being unfair to him, and that this should not be happening, and he literally went absolutely hysteric, which proved even more and more of how entitled he was, and he said that he did not deserve this and that he was going to file a legal case, to which my father-in-law said it was their will, and they could do anything that they want with it. Damn, how cool is that? Michael turned towards me and held my hand so that I could convince them, but obviously it was pretty late. Because I refused to do what he said, he started abusing me again, and was about to hit me with a stick, but was stopped by his father. He refused to leave his parents' house unless they revised their will, but they refused. For the first time, I saw Michael, who was so controlling and demanding, and his demeanor was breaking down for money. He's so disgusting. However, when he left, I thanked my in-laws for being so supportive, and I left with a beautiful feeling that I'm finally free. Although, when all of this was going on, Michael did mention that he was going to come for me, but I blocked his contact and any means of communication just so that I could be at ease. While I write this post for you guys, I'm also hoping now things will settle. Again, a big thank you to everybody for being supportive and just giving me the strength to deal with this. Although, before I end it, do you still think that Michael will come back? Do let me know. Signing off for now. Final updates. Update number 4. Oh boy, hey guys, I hope you're keeping well. I really thought that the previous update was going to be my last update, but here I am with yet another one. So, as you all already know, that Michael and I are not together anymore. Well, unofficially, as of now, as our divorce has not been legally finalized. So it's been 8 days since I updated you all, and Michael was trying to reach out to me like a psycho. Please believe me when I say psycho, because he's always been one. So, while the drama at his parents' place happened, I thought that he would never contact me again, but he did, and that too in an extremely horrible way. So the next day after the drama, while I was at work, I received a message on my phone from an unknown number. And obviously I decided to ignore it until my phone kept buzzing constantly, and to my surprise, I received 25 missed calls from the same number. It was quite unusual, but I decided to answer it. It was Michael. Ugh, what did he want? I'd already told him not to contact me anymore, and yet he simply did not understand. I decided to ignore him once again, but he kept calling again and again, even for an entire night. I just couldn't take it. So, after 2 days of ignoring his calls, I decided to answer the phone so this could stop. I picked up the call and asked what he wanted. He straight away answered that he wanted to reconcile and wanted to mend our relationship, and I thought if he was even more serious at the moment. After all that he put me through, he wanted to fix things. It's funny how stupid he can be. It was pretty obvious that he was not being genuine, and it was just the money, but his parents had already taken away from him. That was luring back to me. Of course, I was not going to buy it as I'm already done with him. So again, I told him not to call me or not to contact me. He became so adamant that the next day he showed up at my friend's place while she was not around and begged me to not divorce him as the man claimed that he loved me and that we should not give up on each other. He asked me to forget everything that happened and we should just start a new life, and now it was already late. I didn't want to go back to him. So I politely told him that in the first place he wanted to divorce me, and now he's changed his mind. I said that whatever he was thinking was not going to change whatever happened between us, as it was too late, and I was much better without him. So I finally stood up for myself and asked him to leave, as I did not wish to be around him if he continues to call or text me, and if he does, I will file a complaint against him. Upon hearing this, he stopped all his acts and left and did not turn back at all. The good news is that it's been a long time since he's not texted or called me at all. I'm currently looking for an apartment, and mentally I'm in a better place, as I feel free and grateful for all the support my in-laws, my friends, and you guys have shown over here. It's a pride to belong to such a beautiful community. Thank you for listening to me and being so patient. Take care, everybody.